I'm Camila.
And I'm Christina, and today we're reviewing Coco.
Gabe and Dylan are going on the spot to review Halloween Ends.
Now let's take a look at the trailer for Coco.
It's you. You're gonna get me in trouble, Dante. Someone could hear me. I wish someone wanted to hear me. Other than you. Okay. I know I'm not supposed to love music.
No music! No music!
But my great-grandma Coco's father was the greatest musician of all time. Papa. Ernesto de la Cruz. One day, he left with his guitar and never returned. Now my family thinks music is a curse. Great-great-grandfather, none of them understand me. I'm supposed to play music.
All right, who's in there?
I'm sorry. What's going on? I'm just dreaming.
Do you mind?
Welcome to the land of the dead.
Dante, wait up! You gotta stay with me, boy. This isn't a dream, then. You're all really out there.
Agents at the Department of Family Reunions are available to assist you.
Please be on the lookout for a living boy.
Miguel, you're here.
We're your family, mijo.
I know your great-great-grandpa.
Whoa.
I'll get you to him. What are you doing?
I'm walking like a skeleton.
No, skeletons don't walk like that.
It's how you walk.
No, I don't. When there's no one left in the living world who remembers you, you disappear from this world.
But you can change that.
We gotta find my great-great-grandpa.
You gotta do it by sunrise.
What happens at sunrise?
You'll be stuck here forever. What?
Ugh.
I'm a big fan.
Never forget how much your family loves you. It's almost sunrise.
One cannot deny who one is meant to be.
Achoo! I am terribly allergic.
But Dante doesn't have any hair.
And I don't have a nose, and yet here we are. Achoo!
So, Coco. It's all about Dia de los Muertos. It's a very big holiday tradition in Mexico. As some people know, I am Mexican, so this holiday is really important to me. So the first day, just as a bit of the context, the first day is all about children, like children that have passed. The second day is for adults. So it's a 2-day holiday. It's a lot of fun, very colorful, lots of food, lots of family. But Coco was released, I think it was produced by Pixar and then released by Disney. But they did a whole movie about just like Dia de los Muertos and going over to the other side and just kind of like experiencing both sides. So what are your first thoughts about it?
So, all that I knew about the celebration was like what I had learned in high school, which was very little. So I feel like watching the movie, it was honestly like very enlightening, and I gained like a lot more knowledge about the topic just from like a Disney Pixar movie, which like I feel like you don't expect, and it's like for children, but there's like a lot to retain from it, like a lot with the colors, like the just traditions, music, all of it. Like it was very like enlightening.
Yeah, I thought it was really like iconic because like when I watched it when it first came out in theaters, my family was very excited, of course, but also we were really excited that like it was like our Mexican family was being put on the big screen. So especially after like Disney has been under scrutiny before for like not showing enough like diversity. So when this movie came out, it was a big thing for a lot of Mexicans, for a lot of Mexican families. But actually watching the movie and seeing like the different mannerisms that most Mexican families like do like while they're with their families, it's like I was watching and I was like, yeah, like my mom does that. Like, oh, like I say that, like I do that all the time. So seeing like that diversity, like I don't know, it changed a lot for me.
I get that. I feel like also a lot of times like when they do try to represent like different cultures, they don't do it as well as they probably should, and I feel like this one like executed it very well. So
yeah, it's like they did their research before. Like it's like they hung out with the Mexican families and were like, yeah, like this is what we're gonna put on the screen. It was a lot of fun. They got like everything about Dia de los Muertos like right, like with the ofrenda and like putting up like pictures and everything, but also like including food, because a lot of the tradition is like you light some candles for your ancestors, your past loved ones to come. And the candles are used so that they could find, like, it's like their light, it's like they find their way back. And then the food is there for like offerings so that they could take back with them to the other side. And there's like this very specific scene. I don't know why it stuck with me, but like one of them was like coming back from the land of living. He's like, yeah, like I brought churros, like I brought bread. And I remember thinking like, oh, like when I was little, when we would like look at the ofrenda, like the day after we put out all the food, I'd notice that there's like little chips missing in the food, and I'd be like, oh, like they ate it, like they took it with them, like I don't know, but they definitely got things right. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like also I wasn't sure, maybe you know the answer, but the ofrenda, do you only put it out for like those 2 days?
Yeah, sometimes some families will keep them up for a lot longer. They'll keep them up like year round. I know my family will keep it up year round, but when it comes for Dia de los Muertos, we decorate it, like overly decorate it.
Okay.
There's like one corner of our house that's just covered in like food and flowers and colors. But speaking of colors, this movie was so colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the design work on it was like amazing. It was so vibrant. It really captures like the importance of color to like Mexican culture, because Mexican culture is all about color, all about like just vibrant things, and they really like captured that as well.
Yeah, I like how also like the colors were electric in like both sides, like the dead and the living. Like it wasn't duller for the dead, which like I liked because it almost like made it like even happier than like the living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also like it's that first shot when Miguel is in the land of the dead, and he's that entire city of like it's funny because it's just like little skeletons like walking around, but then it's like this entire like city, and it's so vibrant. There's so much light.
There was a lot of light, like even though it was like always dark, there was so much light everywhere. Yeah,
it adds to it. It like really creates kind of it's almost like this party scene in like the land of the dead.
Yeah.
But in the land of the living, it's more like it's a little more like it's a little bit darker because like obviously they're sad. But,
yeah.
Like, on the side of like the land of the dead, they're like partying, they're like drinking tequila, taking shots and everything. Like that's what it's like. So I just think the graphics of it are really cool.
I agree. I really liked, for some weird reason, Miguel's dog Dante.
Yes.
I just like love that little like side character that's an animal that's like a little clumsy, and like you're just like rooting for them, and like you know like some way somehow like they're gonna be impactful.
Yeah.
I like didn't understand at first, and then like obviously it all ties together in the end.
Yeah.
But Dante was like such a highlight for me.
Yeah, and like this idea of like the spirit guides is so cool.
Yeah.
Because like although it was like, at least from what I know, like from what my mom and like my family taught me, spirit guides are like really important too. Like that's why a lot of Mexican families take a lot of pride in like their pets and stuff, like treat them like their own children, because they believe that stuff. And so seeing that in like a Disney movie also just adds to it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I agree. I think are spirit guides only in animals, like only in pets?
Not just in pets, just really in any animal.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun though. So yeah, like I said, it just adds to it. It like adds to like this Mexican tradition and everything, this Mexican holiday. So it's a lot of fun. But also, the spirit guides I felt were a very pivotal point in the movie.
Yeah.
Because Mama Imelda, when she's looking for Miguel, she uses her spirit guide to find him.
Yeah.
Which
Her
I thought was
huge
really funny.
spirit guide.
Her huge spirit
Yeah.
guide. It's so funny.
What even was like a dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
The
like,
most bizarre thing ever.
It was like a cross between like a dragon and like
A cat.
A cat
It was
with,
yes.
like,
It
a
was
panther or
bizarre.
something.
Yes.
It was so funny. Yeah, I think the spirit guides were a very pivotal point in the movie. Obviously, when she goes to find, like, when they're looking for Miguel, it reminded me a lot of when, like, my mom would come out and, like, look for me when I'm playing outside for too long.
Yeah.
And that's, like, I think that's the feeling that they were giving off because, like, again, like, they were giving off that feeling of, like, an actual, like, Mexican family.
Yeah.
And it, like, again, it just all ties back to, like, Disney and Pixar, like, doing it right.
Yeah. I think it was also really funny and then, like, enjoyable to watch the family as they're looking for them. You had so many different, like, personalities all in one. And, like, I even asked, like, right in the beginning when, like, Miguel, like, is introduced to everybody, it's, like, you can tell right off the bat, like, it's such a diverse, like, big group of people, which makes the whole, like, voyage to find Miguel so much better because it's coming from, like, several different, like, viewpoints.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you brought that up because it's, like, it's also all about family. Mexican culture is all about family. So all of them like being together and like going through things together, it's great. Yeah. And we'll be back with more right after this break.
The night is young. The night is young. The night is young.
All right. Well, we talked about like the cultural representation of it. What do you think about the music?
I loved the music. I think my favorite song is Poco Loco.
Yeah.
It's just like such a like happy moment seeing him finally be able to do like what's been like harped up inside of him for so long. He just looks so happy. The crowd loves it.
Yeah.
Like that was my favorite song.
I think I loved like the beginning because it sounded like a lot of like traditional like bachata music or cumbia music, which is a lot. A lot of that music is played at like at big like parties that. Like for example, like quinceañeras, like a night quinceañera, that's all that we played that night. So like listening to like all of that in the introduction does a lot for me too. So I thought that was really cool. But also towards the end of the movie where Mamá Imelda sings Llorona, I think it was also really cool. Like showing that vocal range of each actor is really cool, especially for Miguel, because I don't remember how old the actor was at the time when he voice acted Miguel, but just showing their vocal range is so crazy to me.
Yeah. Even when like they're wooing, do you know what I mean? The
Yes,
very beginning with him and Hector, and they're like
yes,
both doing
the-
it together.
Like the scream.
Yeah, they
the-
like scream, but in like a cool way.
I could do it, but the mic is right
Okay,
here.
yeah.
But I
No,
know
same,
what you mean.
same.
Yeah. Again, it's just like it's one of those things. Like they did the scream, and I was like, my mom does that scream
Yeah.
all the time whenever she listens to music. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, like I do believe that music was a big part of this movie because Miguel, he wants to be a musician. It's what he talks about. His family doesn't have this blessing. Like that's the whole plot line of the story. Like he's trying to get that blessing. So yeah, I thought it was really cool.
I liked it. I feel like it wasn't too cheesy, and it wasn't like it was perfectly authentic. It was
Yes.
enjoyable, and like you could be like watching it with your children, they'd love it. You could be an adult, a parent, you would love it. Like it's just like a very heartwarming soundtrack.
Yeah, what do you think about the plot twist?
I didn't see it coming.
Really?
No, surprisingly, because I feel like obviously the family really hated him, but I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
And then also like in the picture, where like the face is torn off, he seems like such a big guy. And then looking at like Hector's little skeleton, I was just like, no, that's clearly not the same person. But I didn't expect that at all. I didn't expect him to throw Miguel. Like,
yeah, like that scene for a kids movie, that was a lot.
Yeah.
Because he's like holding Miguel like over the cliff and then just throws him.
Yeah.
And then is Dante? I think it's Dante, his little spirit dog.
Yes, who comes and
he like
snaps,
flies down and
yes.
goes and saves him. Yeah, that was a lot. I didn't expect for that. Like when I first watched it, I was like, whoa, like.
Yeah.
My niece is right next to me. I don't want her to see
Yeah.
that.
I know. I didn't expect also the plot twist with the poison and like the flashback to when he died.
Yeah.
That was so funny because what do they call him? They said he choked on.
Oh, they said he choked on chorizo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like that was a running joke. He's getting like memed for it, clowned for it, whatever. And then it turns out that it was like like what? Like that was like such a plot twist to be bigger than the other one.
Even
Like
Hector was like, of course Hector didn't know that he got poisoned, but he was like, no, like I got food poisoning from the chorizo. Like there's no way. Yeah. And then it's crazy how they find out because Miguel, Hector says something.
they watch the movie.
Yes, they watch the movie.
And in the movie, it's like he literally plays the actor that's poisoning someone, and then Miguel like says it, and Hector's like, "Wait a second."
Yeah, I
That's
think
how I
it's also
died.
crazy that like Ernesto de la Cruz, like the bad guy, he just decided like, yeah, I'm gonna make a movie about me poisoning my coworkers. Like, that's like so random to me. But that was such a pivotal point. I remember watching that and I was like, whoa.
That was crazy. Yeah.
It was. I was like, why? Like it puts everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also like I understand how Miguel could have mistaken Ernesto de la Cruz for his great grandfather.
I did.
I did too.
Yeah,
I saw the guitar and I was like, yep, that's him.
I know. I got chills the second that happened. I also like didn't really like Hector in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because he's just annoying. He's like, it seems like he was almost selfish. If you don't know that he's like about to,
Yeah.
you know, disappear forever, you like are kind of bothered by him. I feel like because he's just following Miguel around, like using it for his own like purposes. And then when you like hear that he like used to write the songs and was like literally with him and then got killed and then like isn't remembered, like it all adds on. And then I'm like, wait, he's actually not annoying. Like I take that back.
I love that storyline for each character. Like you said, specifically for Hector. Like we all thought he was annoying. I thought he was selfish. I was like, to get out of here, Miguel trying to get his blessing. Like that's all that matters. But then like this idea of like being forgotten and it's kind of sad.
It is really sad.
It is really sad. Like towards the end of the movie, like I wanted to cry because I didn't want Hector to be forgotten.
I know, but it was also so sweet at the end when Mama Coco, when she passes, and then she goes to like the land of the dead, and they're all like reunited.
And Papa, and I was like,
yes,
stop, I'm gonna cry. It was so good. They did a phenomenal job with that movie. But was like other than all the good stuff, did you think there was anything that like they should have removed that shouldn't be part of the movie?
I really enjoyed everything.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything that I would have changed or removed from it. Anything that you wanted to remove?
No one. I thought this movie was so good. I think all the scenes were not vital, but like it had its purpose.
Yeah.
Each scene had its purpose. I truly don't think anything should be removed, honestly.
I agree. There were like also like hidden gems, I feel like in each like there's things that you don't notice, and then if you rewatch it, like you start to pick up on it until the end, and like you can't close your eyes for a minute.
Every little scene tied together. I think it was really cool. I loved that they included Frida Kahlo in it, but through Hector.
Oh my gosh, that was really funny with her whole performance and like, oh, this is so and so, but they're me, and like that was so funny. Oh my god.
Like, the way that he like sneaks in into Ernesto de la Cruz's
I know.
party.
That was really funny.
Even Ernesto de la Cruz thought it was Frida Kahlo because he was like, "Oh, I thought you were busy. I didn't think you were coming." And then his unibrow just like falls off.
I know. It was really funny.
It was a great scene, yeah. But what do you think about like the overall like the animation?
I thought it was really well animated. I thought like obviously it's a children's movie, so like it's a little bit more playful, but like I feel like especially with like the skeletons and like obviously they're always like falling apart, coming back together, like a lot of just like movement all the time, and it's like very specific movement. I thought they did a really good job with it because it was like a little believable. Like I mean, I don't know what a skeleton would move like, but I feel like if they went, they would move like that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I think the animation's great. It's very. I felt like I was there almost.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was a great movie. But other than that, what do you think you would score the movie?
I think I would score it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like for me, like, there was just like, I wanted honestly a little bit more music. I feel like there wasn't enough music, especially like in the beginning. I kind of wanted to hear Miguel sing before the end. But other than that,
there's like 3 songs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, though had there been just a little bit more music,
Yeah.
or even like just like the music parts be a little longer,
Yeah.
it would have made me score it a 10. But yeah, I think it was a great movie. And with that, let's go to commercial break.
Welcome back to Review Crew.
On today's episode, we're going to review Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Here's a trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Let's talk about this movie now.
Let's talk about it.
I liked it a lot.
I love Kick-Ass.
There are parts of me that want to just go through frame by frame and see every single multiverse when they'd have those flashes.
Yeah, the big flashes. Me too.
Talented, funny, handsome. Tim,
come on.
You got it all, buddy. You're like my own person.
Look who's talking. Come on.
See you next week.
Now we're going to kick it on over to our on-the-spot correspondents, Gabe and Dylan, who are reviewing Halloween Ends. Let's go take a look.
Hey guys, I'm Dylan.
And I'm Gabe, and this week we're reviewing Halloween Ends.
Let's check out the trailer.
It's been 4 years since Michael Myers vanished without a trace.
Hello?
was certain that I saw him watching me.
You pretend like you moved on, but you're actually just obsessed with death.
What are you gonna do when Michael comes back for you? Because he is coming.
But this time, something feels different. He's more dangerous. He killed my daughter. But tonight, I will kill him. Come and get me. Maybe the only way he can die is if I die too. It all ends now. You came here to kill me, so do it.
All right, so Dylan, Halloween Ends. This movie's bad. It's really bad. It's epically bad.
It's kind of it's a really weird movie. Not only in this franchise, just in general. I just feel like it's a weird. What were they thinking? That's really my.
Here's the thing.
Main thing when watching this movie. Like, what were they thinking?
Here's what they're thinking. They're making Halloween too much like Get Out. Is really my issue. Like the first Halloween movie really dealt with trauma. The remake by David Gordon Green dealt with trauma, which, okay, totally fine. Like, you want to have some sort of deep meaning in there. Then the second movie had the audacity to be a metaphor for the Capitol insurrection. This movie made it even worse by making it about toxic masculinity and Stockholm syndrome and
just to make matters worse, this isn't about Michael Myers at all.
No, that's the thing. Like, we've completely. Here's the thing. Halloween 2018, amazing movie. So much fun. Because it was Michael versus Laurie.
The only movie in this trilogy that I excuse is that one.
Exactly.
Like, it's the only one that I'm like, okay. Like,
but the movie that needed to be about Michael versus Laurie wasn't about Michael versus Laurie. It was about Laurie versus some random guy. I think his name was Corey.
It's the Corey movie.
Yeah, I genuinely don't remember his face.
And I think the most ironic part about this film is like they actually did kind of hook me in the first 20 to 30 minutes. I was like, okay, maybe this is going somewhere. And the most ironic part about it is that the movie goes bad when Michael arrives. The first time you see Michael is the most ridiculous scene ever. And
Michael is the sewer monster now.
Just living in the sewer. There's no explanation of why he hasn't done anything for 4 years. That doesn't make any sense either.
There's so much left unexplained here. There's like no vengeance for the dog. Judy Greer dies at the end of Halloween
So you mean to tell me that Laurie, after 3 of her friends in high school die, for 40 years basically becomes Sarah Connor, Rambo, whatever. Her own daughter dies, and she doesn't care. She lets it go.
She like literally.
What? And he's still on the loose.
Like
he's not even in prison. He's on the loose.
She does nothing. Like we literally get nothing about the daughter's death.
It's crazy. It's
like,
actually crazy.
Like I genuinely wonder like. Was Danny McBride high while writing it?
Yeah.
And he forgot to include that
and
detail?
I think David Gordon Green is a good filmmaker. He's made good movies. I love Pineapple Express, one of my favorite movies. But this trilogy, I don't know, the direction for me is just, holy crap. They're so different in every movie.
Exactly.
It's so different in every single one of the movies.
Well, there's no tonal consistency between these films. Because the first Halloween feels like a... In a way, it kind of feels like a dark Home Alone, almost, when she's like, it's Laurie taking control. Like, that's my best explanation. Halloween Kills feels like the most slasheriest, like it feels like Friday the 13th. It's the most gruesome, it's the most gory. And then this one, I don't even know how to describe it. You know how it felt? It felt like a waste of time. That's
it really did. It really did feel like a waste of time. I mean, they're clearly trying to portray a message or whatever it is, but it's done in such a poor way. And I mean, I will give this movie a couple things. All right, I'm gonna give a couple positives.
Okay, hit with the positives. Come on now.
The music, excellent. Actually, really, really good. It's funny to me that a score for a movie so bad is actually like really good. 2, Laurie is. I mean, I don't like what they did with her character, but Jamie Lee Curtis she brings her all.
She's a competent actor.
Yeah, like
she knows what she's doing.
Every scene she has, at least I like enjoyed watching to an extent.
Yeah.
Her final confrontation with Michael is like, I guess somewhat okay. It's not earned, but at least watching it is like okay. Like it's like not the worst fight.
It
like
translates well visually.
Yeah, like visually it's fine,
Yes.
but it's just obviously storytelling wise, it's dog shit. But I just her character is okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if I have any other positives. I kind of liked some parts of the cinematography. There were a couple of interesting shots. But here's the thing, dude. I don't blame this on Jordan Peele, of course, but not every horror movie needs to be Get Out or Us.
Yeah, like I was honestly excited for just the slasher genre
Exactly.
to like be back and like it just watches like a fun like slasher movie. Like
all I wanted this movie to be was a Peacock slasher movie. I wasn't going to the theaters to see this. I just wanted to lay in bed, eat some ice cream, drink a Diet Dr. Pepper, and watch a slasher and like have.
And there are not to say there aren't themes in the original Halloween. There actually are. I think the subtext in the original Halloween is excellent.
It's all about like xenophobia.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well done.
But it's funny because they really push the message in your face in this one, and it does not work.
So speaking of pushing that message and pushing things through a shredder, let's you know what? I feel like we kind of need to talk about the ending of this movie because it's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
We get evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight, and they throw Michael Myers into a wood chipper.
Like I don't like. It's like why would you even do that? I don't. And they also carry him up like he's some kind of god.
Like there's like Messiah imagery. Like it's just.
But like he's Michael Myers.
Exactly. He's like the devil incarnate.
Yeah.
Like, and
only good thing about that scene was the score.
Oh yeah, like it was scored well, but it just felt like it kind of felt like Joker. You know what I'm saying? That part where they're passing him around, but instead they're like, I mean I wasn't expecting him to go into the wood chipper. Like I didn't think that's the where they were gonna go, but it was genuinely the worst ending I've seen in a long time. Like it just left a bitter, acrid taste in my mouth. And then they were like, evil comes in many forms. So obviously they're like,
it's hilarious to me too. She's writing a book, like the trope of her writing a book or whatever.
Like,
and she writes, Michael will be forgotten. Will he though? You're writing a book about him.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're like giving him direct attention. And so,
insane. But I actually do want to say, the actual ending, the actual final shots of this movie. I think if there was a good story, and they got us there in a good way, I think it would have been excellent ending.
Sure.
Which is funny, but it wasn't a good journey.
Here's the thing: if it had been like an earned battle, like it was Laurie fighting for like revenge for her daughter, and she like drags him in herself, that could have been great because it should have been Laurie versus Michael,
and
not the Capitol insurrection.
Yeah,
crowd
it's like it's ridiculous.
Passing Michael Myers into
I
a shredder.
thought that ending it with like a side by side comparison to like the original,
Sure.
I thought that was cool, and I thought at first that ending it with what song is it again? Don't Fear the Reaper.
Yeah.
I thought that was cheesy, but I actually do enjoy that it ends.
I mean, I'm never gonna say no to hearing that song.
Yeah.
Especially like more cowbell. But here's my thing for you. Do we just need to let Michael Myers be dead? Like, do we just need to let Halloween be dead for a while?
It's funny to me because I genuinely don't think we will ever go a decade without seeing him.
That's what I'm saying.
We never have ever since the original Halloween aired or came out in theaters.
Yeah.
There's never been a decade where Michael Myers has not been in theaters. So
Because absence makes the heart grow fonder. Like, okay, for example, I miss Freddy Krueger. I want a new Nightmare on Elm Street. We haven't gotten one since the Jackie Earle Haley one.
Terrible remake. Yeah.
Terrible remake. But like, I would like another Nightmare on Elm Street. I feel nothing towards Michael Myers, who used to be like, for example, you and I became friends because of Halloween, which is it's coming full circle. It's very nice. But I used to love Michael Myers, and now I feel not like he's like just genuinely boring.
I genuinely think I've told you this before. If there had never been a sequel to the original Halloween, that movie would be 1,000 times more effective
100%.
because, like, oh my god, like it ends with him just disappearing. Like he could be anywhere. He could literally be anywhere in the world. Like it's just like that would be the perfect ending. And of course, John Carpenter didn't want to do it, but he made a sequel, and there's been 15 sequels. So it's like it's probably never going to end, and it's unfortunate. And I both love and hate this franchise.
Exactly.
But I guess we gotta give this movie a score. I guess.
Yeah.
Give it a score. I don't know.
I will say, so Evil died tonight, and you know what else died the night I watched this movie? My Will to Live. That movie was horrible, and I'm gonna give it a 1 because the score was fun.
Yeah,
that is what I would give
The
it.
score is good. I think I'll give it a 2. Only because, yeah, score, Jamie Lee Curtis, and I guess some shots were good. I don't know.
With that, and with our utter disappointment, let's go back to the studio.
I thought that review would never end. Here's a commercial break.
My name is Jenna Cooper, and I am the relationship psychologist.
My name is Paige Phillips. I am the astrologer, and this
is Psych vs. Stars.
Coco, more like let's go to the credits.